get some chores here a little late. I know it's supposed to be 4:30, but we've got a windstorm going on here. It's been a little busy. Everything's just blowing around. So far, everything's good though. So I already started just because of the weather. So these pigs have been fed most of the way. Having a little sweet treat there. Donuts and bagels from the local business and the cheese. Same with these guys here, donuts, bagels, and cheese. They're real happy. We went to the feed mill where we get that dog food from. Loaded up on dog food today. Pretty good price if you're in the western New York area here. We'll put a little plug in for Baskin Livestock. They sell this here as dog food. They make a cattle replacement food as well. This is what they call pet food finds. It is just dog food. You know, you've got all these here filled up. Those bags on the ground are the empty bags, and these all here are extras. But if you read the back of these bags here and you look at your mix, we'll grab a bag and show you here. Hog grower feed, you're looking at about 16%. So if we zoom in carefully on this, protein is what I was talking about. So 21 on the protein, 10 on the fat, fiber, moisture. So basically your two differences between your food you're going to buy at the feed mill and this here pet food is your crude fat and your crude protein. They're a little bit higher. If you'd like to see 7% fat and 16% protein in a hog grower. So this is a little bit higher. All that means is you save a little money because you don't have to feed them as much and you get the same value of your nutrients out of less feed. So I'm going to set this up. We got to feed our calf. Hopefully this isn't too bad. It's real windy out, so if you can't hear everything I'm saying, I apologize, but we're going to get set up here and get our calf going for his dinner. Gotta move some stuff out of the way here. Put this bag of sweet feed in here. Get our mixer here, our whisk, catch bucket so I don't make a mess too much. And our pail of hot water. Keeps calling me. Not sure who it is, but we'll call him back. Okay, got that mixed up. Feed the calves. Get this set up here. Somebody's gonna knock it over. Excuse me. Just trying to teach him to drink out of the bucket here. Sometimes it goes good, sometimes it don't. And in the meantime, we got somebody else being Curious George, trying to get us some scratches here. I think I've got about 2 pounds of slobber on my hat and my coat now. Now. Curious George here. Hi. Hi, Cheech. I see you. Kind of busy here. same. Seems to be doing okay today. Not trying to get that nipple. He's drinking without it, but he's still looking for the nipple, so keep training him here. Usually takes a week, maybe two, get them to where they'll just drink out of the bucket without looking for the nipple. Break my arms off here. He's pushing down on this thing so hard. A little bit of a bully right now. So there we go. Pretty much all we're going to get out of that pail. Give it a little rinse. That out for the pigs. Now we gotta get them calves a little bit of feed there. Put that down. Put water and feed. So I think we're gonna leave their feed alone. They've got plenty of feed. But we'll get them some fresh water. Top this off. Close this up here while we're at it. Okay. So if you see him here, he's right in the grain bin. So the calf here, this guy, jumping right into the grain, which is what we want to see. We want him to start eating. That's good. That means that he's still hungry. We're not feeding him too much milk. He's got enough milk. Now he's going after the hard feed, building up his rumen in his stomach, so we can start processing that. Get him a little hay pushed up here. And that's it for the calves. Then we got to do our chickens. Real windy here. Water. Back together. Go. Okay. Check on their feed. Looks like they've got plenty of feed here. See if they left us any eggs. Got one egg. Got all the chickens hanging out here. We got one egg. Normally I would use this, but I've got that set up for them. It's a little easier for me. Don't see any eggs up there, so we'll take the one. We don't close that up, we'll let them free range. Got our egg down there, and put a bucket away. Got that, got our bucket. Thank my awesome camera woman there, taking our camera here. See where we're at here. Got a few more minutes there. So we'll take a walk here, take a look at everything. Got our bunny over here, Bunny Hutch. He's doing good there. I would make this brighter for you if I can figure out how to make this brighter for you. Oh, remove background noises. I wish I would have looked at that earlier. I apologize to everybody. But we've got it going here. So I don't have a light. I'd turn a light on for you, but I don't have a light here right now for the phone. We're on the phone, but we'll check out the rest of the animals. This wind is, I don't know if you can see this in the camera. Try to hold it kind of steady. It's pulling the barn around a little bit here. Again, this isn't really anything fancy, but it is definitely moving the barn around. Not enough to really be concerned, you know. And of course, if anybody reads the thing there, I'm a firm believer in Jesus, so I got a lot of faith in him. He's going to protect us. I'm not really too worried about it, but it is windy, so you know, you never know. Could be in his plans to knock her down. Hopefully not, but I got faith it'll stand, so we're gonna hope it stands there. Let's see if we'll get a light on quick so everybody can get a look at all the animals here. There we go. Should be a little bit better. It's fine, they don't go. We've got our piggies here. They have made themselves a little door to say hi. This board moves, so. But they're a little too big now to get out, so I'm not too worried about them getting out there. See, they'll come and say hi. They're a little skittish, so they'll come right up here if I sit over here. I think they're about 60 pounds or so right now. Nice and friendly, just the way we like them. Happy animals taste better. Yes, they will end up at the market eventually. These two not for a while. These are two females. This is the black one here is a Landrace mixed with a Mangalitsa, and the brown one is purebred Mangalitsa. They'll be getting bred with the Mangalitsa boars we have out in the outdoors pen here in the spring. Probably right now these guys are about 5 months old, so I'd like to get them to 7 months to 8 months old before they get bred. It'll be stop knocking your water over there. Sorry, I was looking at these guys, but I'd like them to be about 7 to 9 months old before they get bred, so they're good and healthy size. Them boars are about a year old, so we don't got to be a little bit careful there. You know, you don't want the boar to crush the sow, or the gilt as they're called, when they haven't had any babies. So these two here, these would be sows, because these are all their piglets. We got the striped ones and a little bit smaller ones. Those are black pigs babies, and then the pink ones and the big black ones, those are the pink pigs babies. You can see they just love the cheese and everything there. Got them little cheese, little snacky snacks there with the donuts and the bagels, and they're doing good. And these boys over here, they're just curious. He just wants to be petted. That's all he's interested in. He just likes the little lovins. Little guy there, Chong, he's a little skittish yet, but that's because he's a baby. He will probably come right up to me, not so much the other people, but you know, we've been feeding him with a bottle and a bucket and everything, so you can see that there. Real happy. We'll be cleaning these pens out here probably next week. They're not terrible yet, but we run a deep pack bedding, so there's about 200-300 pounds of straw that goes down first before we let them in there. Pigs are nice. You see back there, it's all nice and clean. That's their sleeping area. And then out here where it's dirty, which is real convenient, is all their manure. And so they won't go to the bathroom by their food. They won't go to the bathroom where they sleep. So they nest, as they call it. So this here, right there, that's their manure. So all we've got to do there is scoop that up, which is really nice and convenient. Same with these guys over here. They're a little bit different. They've got a little bit of a manure spot inside their pen, but it's right by the door, so most of it is outside though. Trying to read all this stuff on the internet on how to do these. They've got all these things. I guess we can make money on the live. I just thought I was showing stuff, but if anybody's you know, interested in sending the gifts, it looks like we would like some TikTok says some roses and some other diamonds and some hearts. They've got popular stuff you can send over there with the gifts. Again, I'm not real familiar with this here platform, but they've got all kinds of fan clubs and stuff. And telling me to tap to go live, but I think we're live. Could be wrong. So yep, they're looking at says we can join the fan club there. If I figure out how to use it, I'll tell you all about it here. Yeah, so we're looking for a rose. Oh, we've got the bunny out here. Somebody wanted to hold their bunny. You can see he's pretty good size. Nice and docile. So send that out about joining the fan club there. Again, I apologize. I don't know how to use this here, but I guess we're looking for super fans, and we're looking for hearts and roses. And they're going on, this, that, and the other thing. Later, we've got a thing with our church. We got that. It's called Wrench Club, and what we do is we have a group of guys at church, and one of the guys has a nice barn there, and he has graciously decided to open up that to allow people to come over with their vehicles, and we as a group there with the church, we help them, and we just fix their vehicles, no charge, you know. Obviously there's some parts, but if the people have the money and everything there, you know, and they grab the parts, we put it in the shop there, put it on lift, and do it whatever they need. We just like to help everybody out with church and with everything else, and we think that's you know, the best way that we could come up with something that we could help them with, because, well, let's face it, we're a bunch of guys and we're men, you know. Men, we're not real soft around the edges, so that's how we decided that we could help the church and help the community out. So if you can see that, all the shadows there and there, we got see the barn moving a little bit. It's not too bad. I've got the front, mainly it's because of that right there. That's letting the air in there, and don't really have a way to tie it down, so it's allowing the air to come in underneath the barn here and fill it up and change the air pressure. I've got the front tied down pretty good, but you can see there it's still letting a lot of air in, so kind of a pain. I think what we'll do is we'll get up there. With this being a tarp, I really don't want to put holes in it and what have you. So I think what we're going to end up doing with that up there is we're going to try to, they got some plastic super glue. So we're going to try to super glue. There was a couple of tabs up there, some tabs. We're going to try to super glue on that canvas and get it strapped back into that. We've got that bar. This bar here. We'll put some on there and see if we can put some straps on that bar there. And then we'll go here and we'll maybe put one or two over there on that lower bar there. So see if we can't get that upper section to stop blowing around. It is separated from the sides. The door section there and the bottom corner walls, that's one piece. And then that top little tail deal, that's its own piece. So without it being held in, you can see the door and everything flapping in the breeze. It's really allowing the wind to get in here a little bit. Pushing the barn around. See, we've got some people sharing. Go ahead and share to live. I guess that's the goal on there. So Jeremy says, what is tonight's subject of discussion? Well, Jeremy, right now, it's we're praying the barn doesn't blow away with the wind. That's the best I can say there. Got some messages here, if I can figure out how to read the messages. Well, I apologize. I'm not really sure. I can read your comments on here, but I'm not really sure how to do too much. I apologize. This is kind of new. It's live number 3 or number 4 I've done so far. So if it ain't pretty, well, that's what you're gonna get for now. So, again, really recap, we've got the dog food there with the light. See if I can't block the light. There we go. So pick that up there at the Baskin Livestock. Again, anybody in an area of Western New York, Baskin Livestock Incorporated. They reprocess the dog food and the cattle feed and everything and make it into a meal or a kibble you can get. Mix that in. Real nice replacer, good price. Cheap and effective. So looks like we've got a co-host here. Looks like Jeremy's joining in as the co-host.
Yes, sir. Looks a little windy over there.
Yeah, slightly. How are we doing out there, Jeremy?
Oh, well, everything's still standing. Watching clouds fly by, you know, all the fun stuff.
Yeah, so yeah, we've got, I would say I've got 100% confidence in God and about 75% confidence in this building. We'll see what happens. So far it's been good. We've had a few windstorms, but it's wiggling. So I think it'll be all right. We've got her nailed in the ground pretty good. I'm not sure if I can find one of these corner posts here. Here's one. We can kind of see. So there's a piece of, this is a piece of rebar. What you can see at the end of it, 1/2 inch or 5/8. I'm not sure. But there's 2 of these, and every of these plate, 28 of those plates around the barn. They've got one at the corners, one at every single one of these hoops, and those rebars are 5 feet long. They are all but the last 6 inches nailed into the ground there. So you can see, here's another one you can kind of see they've got the end stuck up on. Those are holding the barn down, hopefully. It's all tied together along the bottom. It's got a pipe frame that goes along the bottom there. That pipe frame is all bolted to the side, which is bolted to the top, but the tarp itself, it's got basically just a clothesline is kind of what it is, and that's put around the ends on each end. And it's having an elastic band up there at the top. You can see that where it's sticking down. That's an elastic band that holds that whole tarp is held on around the outside with them, and same with the back and the front. Just some rope and some elastic band seems to be okay. Pigs don't care. That's kind of, if anybody has animals, I would say, like to use the animals for a tattletale of the weather. They don't seem to be too unhappy with what's going on right now. Usually if you get a huge change in the weather, the animals are going to hunker down. They can feel that air pressure change a lot better than we can when the weather changes. And so, you see the cows out in the pasture or something, and they're heading for the low spots, or they're heading under the trees to hide and laying down. That's a pretty good sign that there's going to be a pretty good weather pattern coming through. So I think we're going to head up to the house here, check on everything up there. Hopefully this isn't nothing too crazy blown away out here. Well, you can't see much. I apologize. It is dark out now, so. Get this buttoned up. Head up to the house. There we go. Got the barn buttoned up. Seems to be holding okay, save for that top. Thanks everybody for hanging out, watching the live. We'll talk to you tomorrow.